Facts. Lloyd Banks will always be top five. All time, for real. All right, don't get mad at me again. Does black look like it crack? Black don't crack. Especially at the bottom. He look youthful. He got light skin though. Hey, you know in California, if you are like responsible for somebody's injuries, they can sue you. And when they sue you, they can garnish your wages. So needless to say, I don't really date anymore. My ex was a white girl, and she'd been in a wheelchair for 4 months, and that's a costly bill.
That's one thing y'all not doing. Y'all not doing that. So what are y'all?
Holy shit. This looked like a good place to hide at work. Where's something to sit down on? Hey, you know the human body replaces like 98% of every atom in less than a year. In like 6 weeks, you have a new liver. Like every month, you basically got new skin. In like less than a year, you replace damn near everything. And you think I won't replace a bitch? Nigga, please. Bro, the homie just hit me saying that they confirmed that Chris Brown and Ice Cube been to the Diddy parties. I'm like, nah, I need proof. What the fuck is this? Not my boy Breezy. Hope it ain't so that it giving yeeks. Hey, you wanna know the weirdest, interesting prison fact that I've ever heard in prison? A lot of you may know the term conjugal visits. However, the legal term or the right term is family visits. And family visits isn't limited just to your wife. Like you can have family visits with direct immediate family, your mother, I believe your grandmother, your aunt, your kids. And one of the lieutenants, I was like the boss of the job, he told me prior to being that boss, when he worked in the family visits, he would supervise the inmates that clean the trailers that's used for the family visits. He said more than half the time, there's a family visit between sons and mothers. The inmates will clean up used condoms after. That takes motherly love to a whole nother level. Interesting prison fact. You know, in prison, somebody is always watching you. Now they got cameras, but the COs and the other inmates. Like if you have a cell phone, it's a common sign when you just suddenly stop using the wall phone. Like I remember my cellie one day, he just bounced up, he like, oh, he on the wall phone? Okay, yeah, he got a cell phone now because he never be on the wall phone. And always be talking about the stories when he was talking to this female, talking to that female. Like, bro, I don't ever see you on the phone. I'm like, damn, you watching? Is that tough? But that particular Celly was a weirdo. He always felt like people was going to find out his secret, I guess, because his case was questionable. However, when you in there, everything is under a microscope, so you got to move very carefully.
Yeah,
I be
man.
trying to not give a fuck about them in general, just before on the ride there. So I can just be myself completely. Cause the bitch will fuck up. Like women have that power to come and like make a nigga act different. Not just saying like you trying to impress them females, but to a certain standard, you want to look like a certain type of dude around females. It just is what it is. In prison. Getting turned out in prison doesn't always mean pause. Majority of the time, it's either getting turned out to drugs or gangbanging. The gangbanging part happens a lot, especially with the out-of-town or out-of-state people that for some reason be so attracted to banging, they get put on somebody's hood. Drugs, you know, that's self-explanatory. People get hooked on that and they're looking for a release, I guess. However, don't get me wrong. The pause turning out like happens, but it's probably like secret, or there's no telling how long they've been on that. Like when I was out of state in Oklahoma, there was a male CO that got cracked for bringing it in. What? I don't know. But I guess for the bag, some of these dudes was saying some suspect or flirting type things. To me, that's out. Like I remember this OG, when I was in Centinela, he asked my celly to send a message, and my celly like, man, that nigga. I'm like, why? He like, man, that dude say he be talking to a punk every now and then because they be looking out for him. He tell me to send a message to the dude asking for $20. You talking to a dude for $20? I know damn well he didn't probably have to send some eggplant pics. I ain't sending this text message, man. He on his own. Okay, be honest. Based on this, do black crack? Do black crack? All right, don't get mad at me again. Does black look like it crack? Black don't crack. Especially at the bottom. He look youthful. He got light skin though. I stay away from topics with that guy or them type of topics. One, because it's like sensitive and there's no win. Two, just don't be wanting to be connected with that. However, though, from your comment, most dudes don't say nothing. Like with a lot of the shit, I don't respond to and comment because people just know it's false. At least in Cali, one for sure, you're not walking openly like that on a main line prison in California as of 3 years ago. I don't know about right now. Those dudes were either SNY or like on EOP yards, I believe. On the streets though, I don't know if they people are letting they homies like that just kick it on the block and rep and all that. Like I haven't seen it. I don't think so. At least in California. I know back in the day they probably was GP walking around with the OGs and all that, but they used to do time different. Like they used to take geeks. 35 and under, we ain't letting that go down. Our politics ain't allowing it. Like I said, he's older. It's like a generational gap as far as like prison terms and how people did prison terms. Like when him saying we know you that and you're there for that reason. Like yeah, they don't do that in the 2000s, or at least up to 3 years ago. Like I done seen dudes get DP'd because they search history on the phone that they rented was weird. So they got whooped off a yard. Yeah, I was gonna let this slide and just send that comment. I need to make some content. So, interesting prison fact. See, that last video was actually from my other page. I got a prison page where I talk about prison and the mind states and all that. And for me, prison was more like a junior college, university or something. Like, cause some people go to college and it could just be partying. Some people can go to prison and it could be for learning. Well, punishment as well, but Like a lot of dudes talk about it. Maybe they have fun in there because you gotta force yourself to have fun, or you just gonna have a mental breakdown and be fighting and hurting people or get on drugs. And you gotta survive and pass your time. So I know on the internet, a lot of these dudes get on here and talk about it, try to make themselves seem like the toughest dude, embellish the stories. But then some dudes might talk about it and be thinking like, damn, I overcame that. Like when I was in Los Angeles County Jail, I had like 3 different teachers for the programs I was in there, and they changed my life. But a lot of the best teachers was just the inmates. Like jail and prison is like one of the most primitive or like natural states of being because they like take everything from you. And the psychology and social dynamic behind it is something to be studied. Just think about it. You could be on a yard, let's just say 100 Crips on that yard. Say 10 to 15 there for murder or other ones for like robberies and stuff or whatever. Some hard, tough gang members, active, buff, some short, small, whatever. It could be one small, old, buff dude that run all them dudes. All based on social constructs that's made up in there and politics and rules. That ain't interesting? So I don't want to say I'll be reminiscing. I just be trying to show the good, the bad, the ugly, and just talk about the mind state and some of these crazy ass stories that we have. Cause he a dumbass. See, I was gonna get on the original video because there's literally no reason for LeBron to be a dumbass for doing a handshake. Like he has no threat of being a part of that RICO case. In fact, people be on the internet talking so much about this legal shit and don't know nothing. LeBron could literally help this dude case. All these artists could help this case right now. Just like French Montana came out and explained what Coke Boys was and showed that there's different meanings than what the DA and prosecution tries to put on it. It's like I say, they can get in that courtroom and say anything. And the public tends to believe it like dumbasses. Because everybody know that was just a cool gesture for LeBron. He has no connection to anything like that, right? Ain't yelling whoop, blood, nothing like that. But legally speaking, if LeBron ever had any type of court case and they wanted to, that little gesture, they could try to tie him into something if he did a crime or was accused of a crime, obviously, and try to connect that to this because that's what they do. That's what they do. But him being so big, he can show that means something different. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring up that Drake song, Slime You Out. Slime means something different. I got a whole different page where I'll be talking about prison, the prison stories and facts, and like the mind state of the prisoners and the legal system. And I got like 12 years-ish on my gang enhancement. And the expert that got me the time was a gang specialist for 4 months. 4 months. Was an actual cop for a year. and took an astounding 4-hour course on gangs given by police to become a gang specialist. And testimony from people like that is what gets you convicted of stuff like that, like RICOs and stuff. Because they make it all sound good. Shit, let that cop tell it, my RIP cross was a gang symbol.